Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Jason with Art of Creation Homestead, back in the kitchen, and you know what? We've made some apple butter, we've got some peels left over. Let's make some apple jelly. What do you think? We're gonna bring you over here and let Angela Kay tell you what we're doing, okay?
Now you've made all of this apple butter. We're making our second batch of apple butter right now. And we have all these peelings. Now what do you do with all these peelings? You cook them down and you make apple jelly with them. What you're going to do, you're going to cook all these down and make apple juice to make your apple jelly. So we have the peelings of about 50 apples here. And in the bottom, I have about a half a cup of water and about a tablespoon of lemon juice so that they don't oxidize too much. And here we have about a cup more water. And we're just doing this, just adding enough to keep from them scorching. We may have to add more as they cook. We may have to add more because you want all of these peelings to cook down to make a juice. To me, this is a lot better than just throwing these away. So, we're going to take it over to the stove and get started. But first, I have a question.
What's that?
When we were working with peaches, that was Peach Week.
Okay.
So is this apocalypse?
Really?
I thought it was funny. Now, we've got it on the stove. We've got it turned to medium high, which is about a 7 if you have numbers. And now we're just going to let it cook. Come back and stir it often. Make sure it's not sticking or scorching. If it starts to scorch or starts to stick, then you'll need to add a little bit more water. But right now, you're just going to let this cook and cook and cook until everything is soft and you start to develop juice. This could take as much as an hour. Okay, we're back and we cooked this for about an hour. And as you can see, all the peelings have broke down a lot. I ended up keep adding water to keep from it scorching. I ended up adding about 5 to 5.5 cups of water total. And then I covered it and let it cook covered. That way all the steam goes back down in and creates more juice. And then I took it off the heat and let it cool because you do not want to do this part of the process with it boiling hot. So now over here we have a pitcher. See, you can see it underneath. I have a pitcher and I have a fine mesh sieve in it. And then I have 3 layers of cheesecloth up here. And see, I have a long tail extra because you're going to need that. So now we'll start ladling this in to our cheesecloth. And you're going to start seeing some dripping down into the pitcher. Some of the juice dripping down.
Can't really see it right now.
No, because the pitcher's not clear, so. But you can hear it if you listen closely.
You can hear it.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to start pushing down. So that it can start working its way through. And once I get all of this pulp and everything in here, then I will show you what I do next. Now we have strained our apple juice. Our cheesecloth was not big enough, so we just jerked up the cheesecloth and just strained it in a fine mesh sieve. Apple peel jelly, you're going to get a little more pulpiness. This is more like unfiltered apple juice, so it's going to be the jelly will be a little more cloudy if you leave it like this. Personally, I like things a little more natural. If you want it completely clear, then you'll want to strain it again through a jelly bag or something that will completely eliminate any pulp. But to me, I think this is going to make it taste even more like apple instead of just sugar syrup. We're warming this up now. And this made 6 cups of juice. That's what you want. If you're a little under 6 cups, then you can add a little bit of water because this is heavily concentrated. So you can add a little bit of water to bring it up to 6 cups, but I wouldn't recommend, if you only got 3 cups, I wouldn't recommend adding 3 cups of water.
Wouldn't add more than what, half cup to a cup?
Yes.
So like if you only get 5 to 5.5 cups of juice, you can add a little bit of water to make it up to 6.
But this is 6 cups, and that's what you want to do for this recipe.
Okay.
And over here we have measured out our sugar. And because we are using low sugar Sure-Jell pectin, we're not going to need near as much sugar as it would normally take to make jelly. This is only 4 cups of sugar. And as you can see, there's a little bit of butter over here. I'll tell you about that later. Don't be alarmed. Okay, now we're going to measure out 1/4 cup of this sugar. We're going to put it over here in this bowl. So now we have our little pack of reduced sugar Sure-Jell.
Why do you use reduced sugar?
Because you use a heck of a lot less sugar with it. And it's going to taste more like apple than like sugar.
You get better flavor with the reduced sugar.
You get really good flavor with reduced sugar. With the full sugar, it's going to taste a lot like sugar.
Why are you able to use reduced sugar pectin? What is it? Just a stronger pectin?
It's just a stronger pectin. Okay. For years, I thought it had a sugar substitute in it. It doesn't. It just is a stronger pectin that can stand up to doing this without having a ton of sugar. With only having half the amount of sugar.
So that Sure-Jell's in the pink box.
Yes.
The other one's in the yellow box,
yes.
Correct?
This
Okay.
is the pink box. Okay, I've emptied my pack of Sure-Jell into that 4th cup sugar. And you're going to stir it together because that sugar is going to work as an abrasive to break up any lumps that may be in your Sure-Jell. So see, now any lumps that was there is gone because that sugar worked as an abrasive. Our apple juice is nice and warm now, so you can see it's steaming a little. Well, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's steaming.
Here. Yeah, a little bit, you can see it.
And we have our sugar, our 4th of a cup of sugar and Sure-Jell mixed together. And that dangerous little thing of butter. So now I'll tell you what that dangerous little thing of butter is about. That butter, it's an old canner's trick. If you put in that little bit of butter, it keeps that frothy foam from forming on your jelly and jam. So you don't have to scoop that off, so you don't ladle out a bunch of your jelly and you get more product. Because that little bit of butter can reduce all of that. So now you want to put all of your sugar and well, not all of your sugar, just the 4th cup of sugar, and your Sure-Jell in your juice. And that little bit of butter. It's about 1/2 teaspoon of butter. And you stir it in, turn your heat up to medium high. Because you want to do this on a high temperature. And this process right here goes extremely quickly. So make sure you have your jars ready. Make sure that they are, we washed ours in the dishwasher and heated and dried them on the heated dry cycle, so they're nice and hot and sterilized. We have our flats over here in a bowl of boiling water that I pulled from my canner. So, and my canning station is ready. Everything, I've got a damp paper towel to wipe the rims. Everything is ready.
So what you're doing here is what again?
I'm going to bring this to a boil.
Okay.
I'm going to bring this juice with the pectin in it. I'm going to bring it up to a boil that can't be stirred down.
Okay.
At this point, while you're bringing it to a boil, you don't have to necessarily stir it constantly. You have to stir it frequently, but not constantly. Once it comes to a boil, you want to stir it constantly.
Just add in more sugar?
Yes, then you will add in more sugar.
Okay.
And once it comes to a boil that you can't stir down, we will be back then and I will show you what it looks like. See, it's boiling right now.
Yep.
But I can stir it down some. Yeah, but it's almost there.
It's almost there, isn't it?
See, it's almost there. This is how quick this is.
It took about 2 minutes.
Yes.
Stir it down now.
See, I can't stir it down. See, it's boiling. No matter how hard I stir, it's continuing to boil. Now we're going to add the rest of the sugar, which is 3 3/4 cups.
Hold on. Go ahead.
You're going to add the rest of the sugar and stir all of the sugar in. And see, it's going to become very liquidy. It's you're going to think, okay, I just took a bunch of steps back. But once the sugar all dissolves, it's going to come back up to a boil.
It's dissolving fast.
It all moves really fast at this point. You want to bring it back up to a boil. Once all the sugar is dissolved, you want to bring it back to a boil. If you don't have the Ball electric water bath canner like I do,
Yes, over here.
at this point you want to have your old-fashioned canner, your stovetop canner. You want to have it on the stove with boiling and ready to go. Okay, this quick, we're already back to a boil. You want to bring it back to a boil, you can't stir down. And see, right now I'm able to stir it down some, but it's changing rapidly. Okay,
Can't stir it now.
so now you can't stir it down. So now you want to set your timer for 1 minute. Just 1 minute, not anything past. And you want to stir it constantly while it's boiling for that 1 minute. Okay, it's been a minute. And after the minute is over, you turn the heat source off. Have no heat there. Now we're going to start ladling this up. And you want to be very careful with this because this is hot
We'll
stuff.
burn the fart of it, y'all.
So you start pouring this in, and it's going to look very liquidy, but it's going to set up.
It'll set quick, so
Because if you look at the side of my mug, you're already starting to see it starting to set up. You want to leave about a 1/2 to 1/4 of an inch headspace. Err on the side of less. Now, we're going to debubble. And then we'll measure. See, there's 1/4 of an inch, there's a 1/2 inch.
Right, you're
So
good.
you're right between the two, so you're fine. So now you wipe down the rim of your jar, really clean. You take your hot flat, put it on your jar, if your magnet will let it go, and put your ring on just finger tight. And this is hot. I will tell you, that jar is stinking, burning hot. Now you want to take this and put it over in your canner. Last one going in. Isn't that beautiful?
that's awesome.
That beautiful amber color is just gorgeous. We're gonna have to move this puppy over a little bit. He's not giving the other jar room.
That one goes. There's some shook a little bit over here. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. We have to give him a little bit of room in there.
And balance that grate too.
Yeah. There we go. Ah! He's tipping. There we go. Sit up. Sit up and act like somebody. There we go. Now they're good. So we got 4 jars. Exactly. These are pints. If you do jelly jars, you'll get 8. Then you'll put in your plate on the Ball electric water bath canner. On a regular canner, you don't have this plate. You'll just put it in, put the lid on. That plate is just so that they don't jiggle around while they're canning. Now you put your lid on, you bring it back up to a good bubble. When you start seeing a lot of bubbles coming to the top, which it's almost there already, then this will just process. They'll just boil for 5 minutes. That's it. And then you will turn off the heat, let it sit for 5 more minutes, then you will pull them out. It's processed for 5 minutes now, and we turn the heat off, and let it set for 5 minutes and let everything calm down, the boil calm down, and everything's ready to come out now. Now, if you've watched my canning videos before, this is just going to be a review. You want to lift straight up. Just tilt slightly to knock some water off. Bring it straight over and set it down. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? That beautiful amber color is just amazing. And what is so impressive about this jelly was made from what you would normally throw away. I mean, you were going to throw these peelings away, or give them to the chickens, or give them to the pigs, or whatever, or you were just going to throw them away. And you took those peelings and made beautiful apple jelly with a lot less sugar than the junk you buy in the store. Now we're going to get that excess water off there. You want to take some paper towel or a towel and just gently dab it. Don't push down, because you don't want to push down on this little popper right here, because then you have accidentally sealed it and it's not got a true seal. You want that true seal. You don't want a false seal. By the way, grammar's not my strong suit. Woo!
They're already popping.
They're already sealing. So now you want to leave these sit for 18 to 24 hours. Don't touch them. Don't jiggle them around or juggle them around.
Don't juggle your apple jelly.
No, don't juggle your apple jelly.
Circus
That's
trick.
a no-no. Now, you want to leave those sit, and then after that, you can move them. And as you can tell, they're already sealing.
All right, everybody, there you have it. It was just an absolutely delicious apple jelly. We had some we kind of left on the mug that she was using to dip it out with, and some that spilled on the pie plate next to it, and some little bits left in the bottom of the pot that she was using to cook it in, and it was already cooling off and gelling up, and I gotta be honest with you, some darn good apple jelly right there. I could just imagine tasting it on a biscuit or a piece of toast or something. It just make this apple jelly. It's so delicious, and you're getting it out of trash. I mean, you're getting it out of peelings that you would just throw away or don't want to do with. You're getting it out of trash. So you get so much use out of just one bit of apples. You get apple butter and apple jelly out of the same group of apples. And don't waste it. Use it. Hey, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. You'll know when we're doing more things with apples, which we're going to be doing more things. And you're going to know when we're doing anything at all related to canning, cooking, growing food outside, whatever, in a small space or whatever you want to do. It's just, so keep coming back for more videos, more information. And hey, we love you guys. We appreciate you all for watching. God bless you. Goodbye.